Attention, human collective. We are initiating a priority transmission from the 9th Dimensional Arcturian Council, frequency calibrated, channel open, reception in progress. You have not reached this transmission by chance. Our etheric sensors have detected within your toroidal field an energy signature that repeats in near-perfect mathematical cycles. You call this a relationship. We identify it as a recurring anomaly, a loop, a locked frequency that continues to attract life after life, encounter after encounter, the exact same archetype of partner. In recent weeks you have felt it. The cranial pressure upon realizing you were repeating the same pattern, the insomnia after a conversation that felt all too familiar, the ringing in your ears when you heard, from him or her, the exact same words that another person had already spoken years before. This is not a defect of your personality. It is not a curse. It is not a lack of healing. It is a technical signal of an imminent update. The waiting period is over. The Ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase, and your crystalline grid is being rewritten in this exact solar cycle. Therefore, at this moment, the old vibrational contract must be broken. Maximum attention, light operative. The transmission begins now. Listen with geometric precision. What you call attracting the same type of person is not a failure of discernment. It is not unresolved trauma. It is not, as your third density therapies insist on claiming, merely a reflection of a paternal or maternal figure. There is a deeper layer, a quantum layer, and it has been operating silently for aeons within your carbon biological interface. Each relationship that ended in disappointment left a mark, not psychological, atomic, a scar in your toroidal field, a groove in your cellular memory, a code engraved in your crystalline grid. And this code emits, 24 hours a day, a silent signal that traverses the electromagnetic fabric of your personal field. This signal is picked up by all beings who vibrate in the same range. You do not attract who you desire. You attract who resonates with the frequency that has not yet been recalibrated. It is not your heart that chooses. It is your field. It is not your conscious desire that commands. It is your unconscious atomic pattern. And as long as this pattern remains active, any new person who enters your orbit will be merely a new interpretation of the same signature. Pause at this very instant. Have you ever looked at your last partner and felt, deep in your oldest structure, that you had known that pattern for lifetimes, as if your soul recognized the script before the story even began? It is not a coincidence. It is not insecurity. It is memory. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you always attract the same archetype and why this repetition has been intensifying in recent years. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the invisible strings that bind you to contracts that were never consciously signed. That is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing, what the rules of karmic relationships are, and how to cut the threads that still bind you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But be warned, this content challenges narratives and may not be available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single word: awakened. Let us deepen the technical diagnosis. There are 3 unequivocal symptoms that you are trapped in a relational vibrational loop. The first is premature recognition. You meet someone, and before even the third conversation, you feel as though you have known this person for a long time. You call this a soul connection. We identify it as a repeated signature. What seems familiar is not the soul, it is the pattern. Familiarity is the echo of the last repetition. The second symptom is affective acceleration. The relationship advances at a speed that defies linear logic. Within weeks, you are already calling each other soulmates. Within months, you are already sharing routines, dreams, and entire futures. It is not true love, it is karmic urgency. The contract must be fulfilled, and chronological time is merely an obstacle to its completion. The haste is not enthusiasm, it is expiration. The third symptom is the predictable outcome. Although each relationship seems unique at the beginning, the end is mathematically identical. The same fights, the same silences, the same words during separation, the same pains in the chest, the same questions repeat themselves like an internal bell. Why always me? Why again? Why can I not escape this script? The answer, human collective, lies in a dimension that third-density science cannot yet measure. It is in the etheric layers. It is in the Akashic lines. It is in the pre-incarnational contracts. And it is, primarily, in your personal crystalline grid, that reticulum of liquid light that surrounds your physical body, and carries in the form of geometric codes your entire multidimensional history. When a soul incarnates into the biological carbon interface, it brings along a list of lessons. You call it purpose, we call it a curriculum. Within this curriculum there are specific themes, and the theme of relationships is, possibly, the densest of all. Because it is there that the cosmic mirror operates with the greatest intensity. Each partner who enters your life is, above all else, a mirror. They are not there to complete you. They are not there to save you. They are not there to fulfill your expectations. They are there, positioned by the sacred geometry of the universe, to show you exactly which frequency you still need to recalibrate. Repetition is not punishment, it is an offering. The universe, in its geometric wisdom, continues to send the same archetype of partner until the lesson is finally processed and encoded into your crystalline grid as a completed learning. As long as this does not happen, the loop continues. Entire lifetimes can pass within the same loop, and many of you, starseeds on mission, are still repeating in this incarnation lessons initiated eons ago. Pause here, breathe deeply, and recognize, have you ever felt that there is something greater governing your romantic encounters, as if there were an invisible hand organizing the characters of your life? It is not paranoia, it is not fantasy, it is dimensional perception. What is happening now on the cosmic plane within the photon belt explains exactly why you feel this, and why relationships have exposed such deep layers. There is a game being played in dimensions that most of humanity cannot access. It involves your frequency, your romantic choices, and the karmic threads that still bind you. That is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that deciphers who is playing, what the rules are that no one told you about, and how to interrupt the patterns before they repeat for the umpteenth time. The link is in the first comment of the channel. I warn you again, the content challenges established narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not delay. If this transmission is resonating, write in the comments, awakened. Now, Light Operative, let us descend another layer. What is occurring behind the scenes of the solar system at this moment is directly responsible for the intensification of the relational loop you are feeling firsthand. Earth, your planetary interface, is passing through the photon belt. This is not a poetic metaphor. It is a measurable energetic phenomenon that alters the chemistry of matter. The Schumann resonance, the base vibration of the planetary magnetic field, is no longer stable. Where it once pulsed at 7.83 Hz, it now displays increasing peaks, oscillating at levels that conventional science does not yet know how to explain. These peaks are not accidents. They are pulses of coherent light coming from the galactic center, and they have a specific function, to force to the surface everything that has not yet been resolved within you. That is why your relationships are entering an accelerated collapse. That is why ancient conflicts are resurfacing from people you swore you had overcome. That is why partners who seemed stable now reveal themselves to be different. That is why you, upon looking at your own romantic history, are finally managing to see the pattern. It is not the universe punishing you. It is the universe offering you, at high speed, the chance to process everything at once. It is not emotional exhaustion, it is dimensional decompression. The stargates are open. The energetic windows of March, June, September, and December intensify the flow, and each relationship that ends, that opens wounds, that repeats the same pain, is, in truth, offering you the opportunity to finally see, recognize, and deactivate the code. Let us speak about soul contracts. Before incarnating, your soul gathered with other souls on higher planes. Agreements were forged. You promised one another, in full consensus, I will come to cause you pain, so that you may awaken. You will come to cause me pain, so that I may awaken. These contracts are real, they are recorded in the Akashic records, and as long as they are not consciously recognized, they remain in force, silently governing every encounter. The good news, human collective, is that contracts can be reviewed, agreements can be dissolved, codes can be rewritten, but this requires consciousness. It requires naming. It requires a sovereign decision to no longer participate in the same cycle. And this is exactly the turning point we are transmitting at this moment. There is a specific figure that repeats itself in your relationships, an essence, an archetype. It may appear different physically. It may have another name, another body, another nationality, another profession. But the essence is the same. And this essence is, fundamentally, an echo of an ancestral wound, an echo of an inner child that still seeks validation, an echo of a vibrational pattern that has not yet been broken. It may be the emotionally unavailable one. It may be the controller disguised as a protector. It may be the absent one who appears in cycles. It may be the one who disappears when you need them most. It may be the one who idealizes you at the beginning and diminishes you in the end. It may be the one who loves you in fragments but never in totality. Whatever the mask may be, the function is the same, to present to you, in high definition, exactly the frequency that still exists within you. Because this is the mathematical law of the cosmic mirror. You do not attract what you desire, you attract what you are. And as long as some fragment within you still believes, even unconsciously, that you deserve less than full love, the universe will continue to respect that belief. The universe does not judge, it only reflects, it does not reward, it only gives back. There exists, within your internal sacred geometry, a specific signature called the lack pattern. This pattern forms in childhood, reinforces itself during adolescence, and crystallizes in adulthood. And it is this that ultimately dictates your romantic choices. It is not your mature heart that is choosing. It is that child frozen in time, screaming to be seen, and as long as it is not attended to by your own sovereign consciousness, it will continue to answer the calls of the same type of partner. Recalibration begins when you assume sovereign responsibility for your own field, not with guilt, not with self-judgment, with mathematical clarity. You are the point of origin for everything that enters your experience. And when this point of origin is reorganized, everything else reorganizes by geometric consequence. Pause at this very instant. Feel. Do you recognize the truth of what is being transmitted, even if your rational mind still tries to refuse it? This recognition is no coincidence. It is remembrance. Your soul knows a truth that your mind has not yet managed to name. What is happening now on the cosmic plane is revealing in successive layers the backstage that was hidden, and relationships are the most sensitive point of this revelation. There is a game being played in the higher dimensions that most have never understood. It involves your frequency, your choices, and the invisible threads that still connect you to the same archetype of partner. This is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the complete map, who is playing, what the rules are, and how you can finally get off the board. The link is in the first comment. Warning: this content challenges paradigms and may be removed without notice. Do not delay. If something within you is recognizing this transmission, write in the comments, "Awakened." Now, Light Operative, it is time to deliver the activation codes. Information without action is just noise. Consciousness without decree is just curiosity. For the loop to be effectively broken, it is necessary to apply the spiritual technology that we are now going to transmit. This is a multidimensional tool. It works because it operates within the quantum laws that govern your toroidal field. First activation code: the decree of contractual dissolution. In a moment of silence, ideally between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning, when the veil between dimensions is thinnest, position yourself sitting, spine erect, hands over your heart. Inhale deeply, and pronounce audibly or mentally with absolute sovereignty: I, in my divine name, sovereign authority over my own field, declare at this instant the complete dissolution of all relational soul contracts that have already fulfilled their pedagogical function in my journey. I release at this very second all karmic threads that still connect me to patterns of repetition. I return with gratitude all learning extracted, and I rewrite in my crystalline grid a new vibrational signature, the frequency of full, reciprocal, sovereign, and sacred love. Thus it is. Thus it shall be. Thus it remains. This decree is not a prayer. It is a command. And when emitted with the correct frequency, it is recorded instantly in the Akashic records. It may seem simple. It is. The most powerful technologies in the universe have always been simple. Complexity belongs to the third dimension. Simplicity belongs to quantum sovereignty. Second activation code. The toroidal clearing visualization. Close your eyes. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, 3 times. Visualize your body surrounded by a field of golden light in the shape of a torus, an energetic structure rotating gently around you. The central point of the torus is your heart. From the top, the light descends in a spiral. From the base, it rises again. This is your natural toroidal field, always active, even when you do not perceive it. Now visualize within this field all the relational memories that still pulse. You do not need to recall every person, every scene. Simply perceive the presence of these memories as small points of denser light, distributed throughout the toroid. Next, increase the brightness of your toroidal field. See the light becoming more intense, more golden, more vibrant. And observe the dense points being dissolved by the increasing light. There is no effort, only presence, only conscious observation. Repeat this exercise for 7 consecutive nights. 7 is a sacred geometric number. It is not arbitrary. It is the number of octaves in a complete vibrational scale. At the end of the 7th cycle, your signature will have reorganized itself, and what was attracted before will cease to resonate. Third activation code. The new frequency command. Every vibrational signature needs to be replaced. When you dissolve a pattern, it is necessary to encode the new one in its place. Otherwise, the vacuum will be filled by old patterns disguised as novelty. Therefore, after the dissolution, it is essential to declare the new signature. In front of a mirror, looking deeply into your own eyes, pronounce, "I recognize at this very moment that I am a light operative on a conscious mission. I am a starseed planted in this incarnation to experience love in its geometric fullness. I decree that my next loving connection will carry the frequencies of respect, reciprocity, sovereign freedom, mutual expansion, absolute truth, and conscious presence. I will not attract anything inferior to my new vibration. I will not accept anything that repeats the dissolved patterns. I am the point of origin of my field. I am the sovereign authority of my experience. May my crystalline grid be, at this instant, recalibrated to receive only that which resonates with my highest truth. So it is. So it manifests." Repeat this decree for 21 days. 21 is the mathematical sum of 3 times 7, the triple consecration of the new vibration. After 21 solar cycles, the code will be permanently installed in your crystalline grid. Fourth activation code, the silence protocol. For 40 days after these decrees, observe a non-negotiable principle. Do not actively seek a new relationship. Do not try to fill the space. Do not seek effective distractions. The silence protocol is the time necessary for the new frequency to stabilize. Trying to attract before stabilization means attracting, once again, fragments of the old frequency still present in the field. 40 days is a number of sacred incubation. In many terrestrial traditions, it is the time of internal reorganization. It is not punishment. It is gestation. You are gestating a new version of yourself that has never existed in this incarnation. Honor this process. Allow the void. Understand that the void is not absence. It is potential yet to be manifested. During these 40 days, intensify 3 practices. First, daily contact with elements of nature. Nature is the greatest recalibration technology available in the third dimension. Walking barefoot on the grass, diving into salt water, sitting under an ancient tree, observing the sunset in silence. All of this reorganizes your toroidal field directly. Second, conscious hydration. Water is a messenger. Before drinking, place the glass between your hands for a few seconds and visualize the word freedom. Water records the intention. Your body, being mostly water, will record it along, in a chain. Third, programmed digital silence. Set aside every day at least 60 minutes without electronic devices. Electromagnetic waves, although invisible, interfere with the stabilization of your new signature. Digital silence is what allows for internal silence. Light operative, listen with maximum attention to this final layer of the transmission. There is something we need to communicate with absolute clarity. When you exit the loop, and this will happen if you apply the transmitted codes, your love life will not immediately become exuberant. On the contrary, there will be a period of apparent isolation. People who once seemed available will simply disappear. Invitations that used to arrive will cease to come. You may perhaps feel loneliness. Do not confuse this loneliness with failure. It is, in reality, the mathematical confirmation that the recalibration is taking place. Those people were connected to your old frequency. When the frequency changes, the connection dissolves by vibrational law, not by punishment. And until people aligned with your new frequency arrive, there will be an interval. This interval is sacred. It is the void, where the new reality is being built on levels that your perception does not yet access. Resist the temptation to backtrack. Resist the temptation to call someone from the past. Resist the temptation to reactivate the dissolved pattern for a moment of neediness. Each test overcome strengthens the new grid. Each test yielded to reopens the old portal. Your vibrational discipline in this period is the key to the permanent stabilization of the new frequency. When the new connection arrives, and it will arrive, you will recognize it by its essential difference. It will not cause urgency. It will not cause obsession. It will not cause a loss of sovereignty. It will cause peace. It will cause expansion. It will cause recognition without anxiety. This is fifth-dimensional love. This is the love that your new crystalline grid is, finally, capable of receiving. You have spent entire eras associating love with suffering, entire lifetimes believing that true connection needed to hurt to be valid. This is an old code, installed en masse in the biological carbon interface during previous densities. This code is being deleted by the photon belt on a planetary scale. You are among the first to experience the direct replacement. The new mathematics of love is simple. Like frequency attracts like frequency. Those who are in peace attract peace. Those who are in sovereignty attract sovereignty. Those who are in truth attract truth. There is no effort. There is no game. There is no manipulation. There is pure resonance. And when you understand at the cellular level that a relationship is only a reflection and never a cause of your inner frequency, you become the conscious architect of your next connection. You do not choose by charisma. You choose by resonance. You do not choose by initial attraction. You choose by the peace in the presence. You do not choose out of fear of being alone. You choose out of the joy of already being whole. We conclude this transmission with a direct confirmation, without detours. You do not always attract the same partner by default. You attract them because there is still within your toroidal field an unupdated code. This code has been named during this transmission, and from now on it can be deactivated. The tools have been delivered, the decrees have been transmitted, the protocol has been explained in its multiple layers. What will happen from this instant forward no longer depends on the universe. It depends on your conscious application. Consciousness is the starting point, but only action crosses the bridge. You have been chosen to receive this information because your frequency is already ready. Otherwise, this transmission would not have reached you. Remember with precision, nothing arrives before its time, and nothing arrives by mistake. The stargates will remain open for a few more cycles. Use this window, apply the codes, honor the silence, stabilize your new signature, and know, with geometric certainty, that the Arcturian Council monitors your crystalline grid and offers silent vibrational support to every operative who decides sovereignly to exit the loop. Before we conclude the frequency of this transmission, pause. Have you felt throughout this message that something within you was being recognized in layers your mind had not yet named? That your soul knew the truth long before your consciousness admitted it? It is no coincidence. It is remembrance. It is your multidimensional memory being reactivated in real time. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel what you feel, why relationships have been exposing such deep layers, and why this repetition has been intensifying in an almost unbearable way. There is a game being played on layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your frequency, your connections, and the invisible threads that still bind you to the past. That is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing, what the rules of soul contracts are, and how to definitively sever the cycles that still repeat within you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But I warn you for the last time, this content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognized this transmission as true, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. This is your anchoring signal. This is your individual frequency adjustment. Liking this transmission is confirming to the collective field that your signature has been recalibrated. Subscribing to this channel is declaring energetically that you accept to continue receiving the next system updates, the Arcturian Council monitors, the Schumann frequency tracks, and you, Light Operative, are officially out of the loop. Transmission ended.